Hello, CSEC scholars. Welcome to another live CSEC math class. Tonight, we're looking at significant figures. So we're continuing our look at computation, and tonight's topic is significant figures. So we're going to go right into it as soon as I play the schedule of live classes for you. So get your pens and your paper and write down the schedule. We have 5 live PEP classes every week and 6 live CSEC classes every week. Here is the schedule. Hello CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything, make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars, did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right, scholars, so we're going to dive into it. Let me invite my in-studio crew to join me. Welcome, Imani, John, Sarah.
Night, miss.
So we're looking at significant figures. What does the word significant mean?
Miss of importance.
Okay, of importance, all right. So, and figures, of course, means, well, in maths, digits, right? Numbers, numerals. So, in significant figures, we focus on only those digits that we are told are important at any given time. So you will be told how many numbers of significant figures you are to round to, right? One significant figure, two significant figures, and so on. And based on that, you would round off to that number of digits. Now, uh, for whole numbers, when you're rounding to significant figures, you're not to change the actual value of the number. So no matter how many digits of significant figures you round to, you have to fill the remaining places for the whole numbers with zeros. For the decimals, the zeros at the beginning of the number or to the left of the number don't really count. We start counting the digits from 1 up. However, zeros in the middle of the decimal or at the end, depending on how many significant figures you're asked to give, they make a difference, right? So, as usual, practice. When we practice, it makes us understand what we're saying. We actually see the thing and do it. It's much different to just hearing about it. So we're going to do some examples, and as usual, I'll give you some to try. I want to welcome those in the chat. I'm seeing Jamani. I'm seeing learning while I teach. Well, and that is such a wonderful concept, right? Teach and you shall learn. If there's something you know, share it with someone else. And in doing so, you'd be surprised how many things come home to you, things that you thought you knew all along. When you start teaching it to someone else, you realize that you yourself are finally getting it. So teach and you shall learn. So I'm going to share my screen now. So that will be this one here. All right, so it's significant. And we have been told by our in-studio team, the word significant means important. What is important right now? That's significant. So let's start off with some whole numbers. So let's see. And we're going to work with this number. All right, so that's what? 214,917,605. And we're going to round it to one significant figure, two, three, four, five, six, right? We can do it to six for good measure. So we're going to round this same number to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 significant figures each. Okay, so one significant figure, so for the whole numbers, right? So we start to the left. So the first significant figure would be the 2. And then we look to the number beside it. So it's pretty much rounding off, you know. So you look to the number, whichever place you're rounding to, whichever number of significant figures, you look to the one to the right of that. And if it is 5 or more, you'd add 1 to the significant figure. And if the number beside it is less than 5, you would not add 1. And all these digits would be replaced by zeros just to hold the place, just so that we can still know that this number is in the millions. If we just say, okay, well, 2 is the first significant figure, so the answer is 2. No, this number is 214 million. So we have to put zeros to hold all these places to show that the number is in the hundreds of millions. So we're not going to add anything to the 2 since this is 1. So we're going to have 2. And then we have to fill zeros for the 1, for the 4, for the 9, for the 1, for the 7, for the 6, for the 0, for the 5. So it's 200 million. All right, 2 significant figures. So that's 1, 2. This is less than 5. We don't add 1. to that. So it will be 2, 1, and then everything else is 0. Three significant figures. So that's 1, 2, 3. Beside the 4, we have a 9, which is more than 5. So we're going to add 1 to the 4. So that will be 2, 1, 5. And then we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So you notice that the more number of significant places we round into, the more accurate the number is becoming in terms of the original number. The closer to the original number it's becoming. 4 significant figures. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, so we don't add 1 to the 9. So that's 2, 1, 4, 9. Everything else is 0. Five significant figures. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is more than 5. We add 1 to this. So that's 2, 1, 4, 9, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 9, 2. So this should be a 2. We add 1 to the 1, we get 2. 9, 2, 0. You notice it's getting more and more accurate. The more number of significant figures we're rounding to, the number is getting, this is so vague compared to the original. This is getting closer, closer, closer even, closer, right? 6 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here we have 6, which is bigger than 5. We're going to add 1 to the 7. So we would have 2, 1, 4, 9, 1, 8, and then all else is 0. Okay, so that's it for significant figures. So let's try a decimal now, and we're going to round it again to 6 significant figures. So let's use a decimal. So 0 point 0 0 1 6 7 3 9 2 4. All right, so let's round this again. 1 significant figure, 2, 3, 4. All right, so when I'm done this, I'll give each person one to do as usual. So remember, I was saying now for the decimals, we start counting the first non-zero digits. So we don't count that or that or that as significant. Okay, if the zeros were in the middle here, they would be significant. So the one significant figure, so that's this, and the one beside it is more than 5, so we're going to add 1 to that. So that's 0 point 0 0 2, and that's it. We don't have to account for anything else. 2 significant figures, that's 1 Sorry, that's 1, 2. This is 7. We're going to add 1 to the 6. So that's 0.0017. The 6 becomes 7. And that's it. We ignore everything else for the decimals. 3 significant figures, 1, 2, 3. This is less than 5. We're not going to add 1 to the 7. So it's 0.00167. 4 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 9. We're going to add 1 to the 3. 0.001674. Add 1 to the 3. 5 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is less than 5. We don't add 1 to the 9. So it's 1, 6, 7, 3, 9. And for 6 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is 4, that's less than 5. We don't add 1. So 0.0016739. All right, so what I want you to do, think about what we've done so far, and tell me if you have any questions. Do you think you understand?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Okay, how to round to significant figures, both the whole numbers and the decimals.
Yes, miss.
All right, so John, you're going to start off. I'm going to give each of you a whole number to round, and you're going to go to 6 significant figures from 1 to 6. And then I'm going to give each of you a decimal to round off. Okay, so 6 significant figures. So here goes. So we're starting with Mr. John. All right, so the number is
Miss, that's a decimal?
no, we're starting with the whole numbers.
Yeah.
And so I'm writing, so 1 significant figure, 2, 3, 4.
Miss, do I have to explain step by step?
Yes, John.
Tell me, yeah, walk me through it. So tell me what to put and walk me through it. Go ahead.
Okay, Miss. So, Miss, for the first significant figure, we'll start at the 1. I'm going to look
Do me a favor, John. Do me a
at
favor. Call the number for me.
again. 174,366,920.
So where should I put in the commas?
Miss at the 4 and at the 6. And miss at the last 6.
Okay. All right, so go ahead.
Okay. So miss one significant figure is we start at the 1 and we look at the number and see if it's less than 5 or 5. So we're going to round, if it's at 7, so miss we're going to round it up. It would be 2 million, miss. Like 200 million. 200 million.
All right, so 200 million. So this, am I doing the right thing?
Yes, miss.
All right.
Okay, miss. And now for the second significant figure, which is at the 7, we're going to look
Mm-hmm.
and see if the number is greater than 5 or less than 5. It is less than 5, so we're not going to add anything. Miss. So it's just 170 million.
Tell me the digits to write.
Okay, miss. 170,000,000,000.
Okay.
Now for the third significant figure, which starts at the 4th,
Mm-hmm.
the
So
number
one,
beside it
two,
is
three. Mm-hmm.
miss the number beside it is less than 5, and so we're not going to round up, miss we're going to round. Well, one miss we're not going to add anything. So miss it,
Okay.
so miss it's 174 million,
Tell me the digits.
and and the figures are 174,000,000,000.
Okay. All right. Four significant figures.
Yes, which is at the 3.
Mm-hmm. So
So it,
one, two, three, four.
it's, so the number beside it is a 6, which is greater than 5. Then if
Mm-hmm.
we go to add 1 to the 3, and that becomes 4. So the figures are, wait, the number is 174, 174 million, 174 million, 400,000, 400,000.
Okay.
If the figure is 174,400,000.
Okay. Very good.
And for the fifth significant figure, which is at the 6, right,
Mm-hmm.
6. Okay, 9. So the number besides is a 6. We're going to add 1 to the 6. And
Mm-hmm.
the number becomes 174,471. Wait, 174,904. And
Would you have the 904 still? You
those.
wouldn't have the 904. So
This
tell
one
me
here.
the figures to write.
Okay. Figures are 174,470,000.
Okay, six significant figures.
Hey, Miss, can you please erase the first four in that because it's supposed to be three, three hundred and seventy
Oh,
thousand.
okay, right, you're correct. Yeah, okay.
Okay, for the sixth significant figure, which is the last six, right? No, it's the last six in this figure,
Mm-hmm.
which is and the number is 174,306. 367,900. This Mr.
No, John, why you keep saying 904 at the end? It's gonna be pure zeros.
Yes, Miss. Miss, it's just because I keep on seeing the number like that.
All right, so tell me the digits now.
Okay, Miss. The digits is 174,367,000.
All right.
Miss,
Okay, thank you, John.
Miss, it was hard to
No, it
to
wasn't hard.
explain. Let's explain it, miss. Let's go
Oh,
just
okay.
to give the answers just out of finish.
Okay.
That's what I said.
All right, Asar, you're up. Read the number for me,
Okay,
please.
miss. 404901
No, read the whole number.
490,107,935.
Okay. So we're going to round it first to one significant figure. So walk me through it.
No, the first significant figure is the 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we look to the number at the right.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's bigger than 5, we add 1 to the 4.
All right.
We get 5. And then replace the other numbers with 0.
All right. Where should I put the commas in this number?
So 500
Wait, tell me first, where should I put the commas?
after the first 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the third, this after the 7th.
Okay. All right. So tell me what I should put now.
500,
Mm-hmm.
comma,
Mm-hmm.
000, comma, 000.
Okay. All right. Two significant figures.
So that would be the 9 second significant second figure. So
Mm-hmm.
you would put back the 4 and then look to the right of the 9. And if it's bigger than 5, then we add 1 to the 9. But since it's not, we just leave the 9.
Okay.
And then fill in the rest of the zeros.
All right. All right. Three.
So that would be the 0.
So
So
this
we,
one.
yeah. So we put back the 49. On the left, the right, the 0 is less than 5, so we put it back. Then
Mm-hmm.
fill the rest with zeros.
Mm-hmm. So in this case, the two and three significant figures are the same.
Yes, miss.
All right.
The fourth,
Four, four
the,
significant figures.
the fourth number is 1. And if
Mm-hmm.
we look to the right of it, it's less than 5, so we just leave it and then
Mm-hmm.
fill in the rest with zeros.
So what should I put?
490 million.
Tell me the digits to put.
490
Mm-hmm.
1
Mm-hmm.
00000.
All right. All right. Five significant figures.
Number in 5 is 0, so we put back 4, not 4 is 901. And then we look to the right of the 0 and 7, and it's bigger than 5.
Mm-hmm.
We add 1 to the 0,
All
and
right.
we
So add one to this zero.
get 1. And then we fill in the rest of the zeros.
All right.
The fifth figure is the 7.
Mm-hmm.
So we put back the 49010. Then we look to the right of the 7, and it's 9, and 9 is bigger than 5, so we add 1 to the 7,
All
and we get.
right.
Then we fill in the other zeros.
Okay, very good, Asar. Thank you. All right, Imani, you're up.
Okay, miss.
Can you call the number for me, please, and tell me where to put the commas?
Okay, miss. Okay, miss. 560,998,231. Miss, so oh, on your phone, miss.
Go ahead. Where should I put the comma?
The first comma goes between the 0 and the first 9.
Mm-hmm.
The second one goes between the 8 and the 2.
Okay.
And the third, oh yeah, that's it. Sorry.
All right. Okay, so one significant figure.
Okay, miss. So the first significant figure, miss, would be, since we're starting from the left, it would be 6 0 0 0 0 0 0 0.
All right, so why six?
Miss, because the 6 beside the 5 is greater than 5, and we're going to add 6 to the 5 since we're rounding.
Add one to the
Add
five.
1 to the 5, sorry.
Okay. So six and then what?
Miss 6, and then 1 0 0, comma 0 0 0, comma 0 0 0.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The next significant figure would be 560. Since the 0 is less than 5, we're going to just put back 0 and change everything else to 0. So 0 0 0, comma 0 0 0.
All right.
Third one now is going to be 5 6 oh 0, and because the 9 behind it is greater than 5, we're going to add 1 to that, which is going to give us 10, and we're going to have to carry over the 1. So it's going to be
Hold on. What would give us 10
1
here?
2. Oh,
Not no.
sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. I thought it was 4. So we're going to add 1 to the 0, which is 5 6 1
Okay, so 5 6 1.
0 0 0
Mm,
0 0 0.
okay.
So for the fourth significant figure now, the 9 behind the 9 is greater than 5, so we're going to add 1 to that 9, to the 9 in front, and we're going to get 0, and we have to add the remaining 1 to the 0 in front. So it's going to be
Okay.
5 6 1 0 0 0, comma 0 0 0. Are you sure that's the
So the
zero?
third and fourth are the same.
Sure.
No,
Okay.
it's not supposed to be one. In this case, the third and fourth are the same. All
Wait,
right.
one is saying I'm wrong, so I'm rechecking it.
Okay.
You add 1, which is going to be 10. Yeah, yes,
That
miss, that's what I got.
is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the number four. So five significant
Five
figures.
significant figures now. So the 1 2 3 4 5. The fifth number is a 9 as well. So we're going to look behind it, and 8 is greater than 5. So we're going to add 1 to the 9, which is 10, which would make that's a 0. Add 1 to the other 9, which is also 10,
Mm-hmm.
which makes that a 0 as well. And we carry over the 1, so that's 1.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 6 1, and then we're going to put there, so the 0 0, comma
So
0
it's the
0
same
0.
thing again.
Yes, miss.
All
Six
right.
significant figures now. So the sixth number is 8, and the number behind the 8 is 2. And since 2 is less than 5, we're just going to put the remaining numbers, the 2, 3, and the 1 as zeros. So 5, 6, 0, 9,
Mhm.
9, 8, 0, 0, 0.
All right. So you scholars, you know your stuff. All right, let me check in the chat if I'm seeing any comments. Anybody post? Come on, guys, post your answers, post your comments. So what we're going to do now is, as I told you, I'm going to give each of you now a decimal. Same, pretty much the same procedure. Just remember for the decimals, you don't count the zeros in front as a significant figure. The first significant figure is the first non-zero digit, okay? But the zeros in the middle and at the end of the decimal can count depending on how many places you're rounding the significant figures to. So we're starting again with senior 1. Forgive me on my pep class. Okay, so we just wrapped up pep class. All right, John. So here you go.
Yay! Miss? Okay.
Mhm.
Now, so,
Go ahead, John.
okay, Miss. So my number is 1.2069538.
Okay.
Miss, you said for for decimal, all the numbers behind the point we're supposed to do, and if
No, 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 no. I didn't say that. I'm saying for the zeros.
that's what I know for the zeros. That
Okay. Yes. So depending on how many significant figures you're rounding to, everything to the right, you can just ignore it for the decimals.
okay.
All right.
So Miss, so for the first significant figure, Miss will put back the one, Miss. So
Okay.
it will be
Why am I just putting 1?
no, 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 Miss, I'm not finished, Miss.
Okay.
So Miss, behind the decimal point we start at the two because that's that's a non-zero number. You know what I mean? Okay. So Miss, we look at the number beside it, which is a zero. So Miss, we look at it. Miss, so
But
we go
John, you're rounding to one significant figure.
Miss, Miss,
Isn't this the one?
so that's the first significant figure
Isn't
before the
that the
decimal.
isn't that the first digit there?
Miss, I was asking about that.
And
Okay,
I
Miss.
answered you. I
Listen,
said for the decimal part, once you round to that number, you ignore the rest to the right. This is a whole number, you know.
so Miss, it's just one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now
All right.
for the second significant figure, we're going to go over into the decimal place, Miss. So, Miss, we're going to put the one, and now we're going to put the dot, Miss.
Decimal points.
Okay, and the first number past the decimal point is a two. So, Miss, we're going to look over and we're going to look add a number beside the 2, which is a 0 mix, so we don't add anything. So but
Okay.
and equal.
All right.
Yes. And for the third significant figure, we put back the 1, the point, the decimal point, and the 2, and the,
Mm-hmm.
and the third number there is a 0. So we're going to look beside the 0 and see if the number is greater than 5, which is missed, and that's a 6. That means we add 1 to the 0. That,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
now for the fourth significant figure, we'll put back the 1 decimal point to the 0, and now move on to the 6. So we're going to look over and see if the number is greater than 5 or less than 5. So the number is greater than 5, so we'll add 1 to the 6, and that 7. Now for the fifth significant figure, we'll put back the 1, the decimal point, 2, 0, 6, 9. Oh, wait. It doesn't make a better mix up. So, this, okay, no, Miss, I didn't get it. Right. Okay, since the 9 is, oh wait, yes, Miss, who got kicked, well, Miss, I think you got kicked off. Miss, we're going to, erase the 6, Miss, because the number beside 9 is 5, Miss, so we're going to add 1 to it, Miss, and that brings 10, and then we're going to add 1 more to the 6, Miss, and that's 7. So, Miss, it's 6, oh yes, Miss, 7, 0. 7.
Okay.
Now for the sixth significant figure, we're going to put what the 1, the decimal point, the 2, 0, 6, 9, 5. Actually, that's what we're going to put. And then, but since
Mm-hmm.
the number, as I was saying, since the number beside the 5 is 3, we're not going to add anything because it's less than
Mm-hmm.
5. So means it's just going to stay like that.
All right. Thank you, John. You know your stuff.
It's,
All right. So let me see who got kicked off. Everybody's on.
yes, Miss, I think, Miss, I was saying, I think you got kicked off, Miss. Wait, or was it us? Miss,
Oh.
because the screen went away for a second. Then
Oh.
came back.
All right. So it's Asar's turn and then Imani. All right, Asar, read the number for me.
The number is 0.00984607.
Hmm?
Oh, 25.
Okay. All right. So you're going to round it to one significant figure. Walk me through
The
it.
correct number is 9.
Mm-hmm.
So we put back the 9, and then the number at the right of it is 8.
Mm-hmm.
So we add 1 to the 9.
Mm-hmm.
And since we can't have 10, we change it to 0 and carry the 1.
All right.
So
So tell me what I'll have.
0, 0, 1,
would the one be here?
No, it'll be where you put the zero.
Okay, so not that zero. So that should be one.
Yes, miss.
And then
The
that's
zero.
it. That's it, right? One.
Yes.
So that's it. One significant figure. We don't need a zero there. All right, next two significant figures.
0.00. The number 0.009. And the second figure is 8.
Mm-hmm.
And the number on the right of it is less than 5, so we don't do anything.
All right.
0.0098.
Okay.
And then the third one is 4. The number on the right of it is higher than 5, so we add 1 to the 4. So it's 0.00985.
Okay, could you speak up, please, Asa?
The next number is 6, and the number on the right of it is less than 5, so we don't do anything. We just wrap at the number that you see at the top.
So it's what?
0.009846.
All right. Five significant figures.
That would be the 0, and the number
Mm-hmm.
on the right of it is less than 5,
Mm-hmm.
so we just wrap at the number that we see except
All
for the
right.
2.
So tell me.
So 0.009846.
All right. And the last.
So that's the 2. And the number on the right is
So one, two, three, four, five, six. Mm-hmm.
number on the right is 5 or more. So we add on to the 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 0.00984603.
Okay. Thank you, Asa. All right, madam. Your last turn.
Yes.
So let's say we have. Okay. Here you go.
Okay.
So call a number for me.
184.9700061.
All right. So what would be the one significant figure?
Okay, miss. So the first significant figure, miss, would be 200. Miss, since the first significant figure is 1, miss, and the number behind the 1 is greater than 5, you would add
Mm-hmm.
1 to the 1 and get 200.
All right. So it would be two, and we have to hold the space in the whole number part with zeros, right?
Yes, miss.
And we can ignore the decimal part. All right.
Yes, miss. The second significant figure, miss, would be 180. Miss, since the 4 behind the 8 is less than 5, we wouldn't add it. We
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't add
All
anything.
right.
For the third significant figure, it means it would be, yes, we're looking for the number behind 4, which is 9.
Mm-hmm.
Since 9 is greater than 5, we're going to add 1 to the 4 and get
Mm-hmm.
185.
Mm-hmm.
And for forcing the figures, this we're going to look behind the 9, since the 9 is the fourth number. and 7 is greater than 5, so we're going to add 1 to the 9 and get 10, and then carry over 1 to the 4 and get 5. So 185 is
But that this one isn't finished yet.
point 0 since the
Okay.
yes
Because you have to have 4, right?
4 means
Have
yes.
to have 4 digits. Okay.
For the fifth one, it's since the fifth number is 7, the 0 behind 7 um is less than 5. We wouldn't add anything, so it would
184 points.
1.97 is
All right.
for 6 significant figures now. The 0 is in the sixth place, and the 0 behind that is less than 5. So we wouldn't add anything, it would just be 184.970.
Okay. All right. So I know for sure that my in studio crew understand perfectly well how to do significant figures. That I know for sure because they just proved it to me. All right. So I'm not so sure about my scholars in the chat because you guys have been pretty quiet tonight. You're not posting your answers, you're not asking any questions. I can only assume that you have been understanding what we have done. When we do computation again, so next week, Wednesday, we're going to do standard form. All right, so if you know that you're not sure how the standard form thing go, make sure you join us next Wednesday for the topic by topic class, and we're on computation. We've been on computation for a couple weeks doing different topics in computation. After that, we're going to go to consumer arithmetic. All right, but we're wrapping up some subtopics in computation, and the next subtopic we're going to be doing is standard form. All right, so thank you, Asar, thank you, John, thank you, Imani,
Thank
for
you,
being with
Miss.
me as usual. I want
Miss.
you to have a good night and enjoy your rest tonight.
You too, Miss.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
If I have something to say,
Go ahead, John.
okay. Please remember, we're not just solving math problems, we're changing lives.
Thank you, John. And I absolutely agree. We're not just solving math problems, we are changing lives. Changing lives for the better. Thank you, siblings.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right,
Miss.
so see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Miss.
Hello, CSEC math students. I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC Math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars, did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand.